Hey Damian, what's up?
Nothing. Just watching The Hobbit, having a brew.
Yeah, same. Watching The Hobbit, having a brew.
Hey Jamie! Who's that?
Hey yo, James! Pick up the Palantir!
Hey Tom! Daisy!
What's up?
Tifa! So what's up?
Watching The Hobbit, having a brew.
Yeah. True. Welcome, Strategy Battle Guys, to the GBHL YouTube video. You're here with your host, GBHL Damian.
And GBHL Tom.
And this is episode 31 of
The Palantir.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
So we're back.
Yeah.
We are here for another week of wonder and trivia in which everything we say is just our own opinions and does not represent the views of the GBHL podcast channel or the Great British Hobbit League or any other formal body or institution such as the Royal Albert Hall's maintenance team.
Strong. Right on.
Oh look, this tastes like tea.
It does taste like tea. You are moving the agenda on quickly today.
Oh yeah. Cut away all the faff.
Yeah, it's a tea toast for... no, not for GHI. He's passing it on for Michael Romby.
Michael Romby, there you go.
There you go.
Cheers, Michael.
Cheers.
That's from Joe. Hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to have a tea. Oh, sorry.
Have a tea.
Have some tea yourself and then pass it on to someone else.
We do...
Jurassic Park mug,
Yeah.
obviously from me this week because at the time of recording, oh my god, it's just 2 days until we see Jurassic World.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. Have you seen Waterloo Station?
A bit. Well, I was there briefly, but I didn't do much.
Amazing. They got raptors there and signage stuff. I can't believe anyone commuting to London would get anything done. But yes, as this comes out, I will have seen it. Let's all be hopeful it doesn't suck.
You're going to love it regardless.
I will be unbearable if it's awful.
Yeah. It'll be unbearable anyway. I've got the Have a Cave Troll mug. We did have the normal Palantir mugs, but they're already going dark because we've been faffing and faffing before starting.
Done that. Double tea.
Cool, well, enjoy your tea toast, Michael Romby. I'm disappointed that Jay didn't get a video out.
Yeah, what's that about?
I mean, disaster. But yeah, here's to you, Michael. Okay, so news. Yeah. Tournaments coming up. We've just had the Mansfield tournament. At
Very well
Gaming.
done.
Riddles in the Woodhouse.
And Tom and everyone that's there. Awesome tournament.
Brilliant job. 26 people there, and it was awesome fun. And the first one with where you needed to take a good and evil army this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe, is it the Lost?
Sterling usually do that.
Yeah.
Sterling usually do that. But yeah, it's quite rare. But I didn't feel it was too cumbersome because there was enough space for you to kind of keep your other army somewhere in between games.
It's good. Good weekend.
Yeah. So in a couple of weeks' time, it's the East Grinstead event, which is always, if we're talking about it, it's sold out. So, you know.
Sorry, can't come.
Yeah. And then we have the awkward taking of Smaug after that. And after that, it's then Sutton, which I don't know if we've talked about because we usually talk about 3 ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sutton's just jumped in.
This is being run by 2 very well known of the members of the GBHL community.
Handsome too.
Yeah, but they've never run a tournament before, to my knowledge. Maybe they have. Not a Great British Hobbit League tournament anyway.
Owen was kind of a half TL organiser for Slayer in the early days, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was their like emissary to the group.
Perhaps add to it a certain amount as well. So it's Owen Wright and Ed Ball. So the rules pack is not actually you must only bring models that fly. But the rules pack's very cool. You everyone gets a free banner. Obviously you have to make it yourself, convert it yourself, but you can take a banner regardless of what warrior type you are. So goblins, all that kind of stuff that can't usually take a banner can take a banner, and there's a prize for the best banner. And it's a fairly awesome prize, I'm led to believe.
Oh, I haven't heard.
I don't think it says in the rule pack, I think it just says special prize.
You're not worried that that kind of special rule might complicate things?
I don't know what you're driving at.
You don't think it'll throw a banner in the works?
Oh my.
You're damn right, love. Yeah, he likes that. And Harrison enjoyed that one.
Awful.
Yeah. Pretty much. So yeah, go to that.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then you can make as many banner-based puns as you like. So yeah, those are the 3 upcoming tournaments. Other news, some other wargaming people who we know are doing a charity event.
Oh yes.
So 5 hobbits are going to be walking from the Shire to Bree, I think they termed it as, but they're just walking in Dartmoor really.
This place is not real.
Yeah, I know. They need to go to New Zealand to do the actual Shire to Bree. But yeah, they'll be walking for 5 days, and that's all in aid of Macmillan. So
excellent cause.
Yeah. So
what manner of hobbits are these?
it's James Baldwin, Kieran Street, Sam Page, Tom Macklin, and Mark Boyland.
Amazing stuff. Well done, Joe.
Yeah, well done. Make sure you take your best walking sticks, waistcoats, take all the shortcuts to mushrooms.
Yeah. Wrap up warm as well. Like Tom's advice seems insane. He seems to just want you to look like hobbits.
Don't forget your handkerchief.
I would, yeah. I mean, again, like a backpack, probably something to keep the rain off. and sensible footwear.
Make sure you write down some banner-based jokes before you set off.
A banner-based tune will keep you dry.
If you want a film to inspire you on walking, watch The Way, guys.
Have you seen that?
Bloody hell. What do you mean?
I didn't know you'd seen it, I think.
Alright.
I was impressed.
I don't know any of the actors' names.
Oh.
No, I do. James Nesbitt's in it.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
He's both of them.
Yeah, he's in it. So there you go. There's the Hobbit related film.
Well, good luck with that, guys. It's amazing cool.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're wanting to support some fellow Hobbits, then I think that James posted this on the Great British Hobbit League Facebook group, so kind of search Dartmoor and you'll find that if you're wanting to help them out. Okay, so what did we talk about last week?
Last week we talked about the international SPG scene.
We did indeed.
Yeah.
I'm sure we did a cracking job. I mean, we sat there and read out of White Dwarf.
That's what it might have looked like.
Yeah.
What we actually did was analyse the international scene with staggering detail and analytical rigour.
Yeah, rigour. Damian's already writing his doctorate on this thing.
I've been marking essays.
Yeah.
Those like academic rigour are very like up in my mind at the moment.
Oh dear. Anyway, so yeah, we talked about the communities and communities elsewhere potentially, and we've had a lot of responses from people all over the world.
Loads of comments this week.
Yeah, absolutely loads, which is great. Keep them coming. So yeah, we had, if we're going through the countries, we had 5 responses from Australia telling us about seeing that. 1 from the US, 1 from Canada, 2 from Denmark, 1 from Finland, 1 from Scotland, 1 from Wales. We have Ireland somewhere as well. Oh, these are all double-sided. There's that many comments. Ireland 3, sorry. Austria 1, Norway 1, Holland 1, Germany 1. Sounds like football scores at the moment.
Just as interesting to listen to as well.
Though Australia would never score 5. There we go.
Oh. So lots from Europe.
Yeah.
So that's taking people who watch this show, I guess. People who listen to the channel.
Yeah. The Australian ones were quite interesting. They say the comments from Adelaide and from Melbourne, and they've had tournaments. The one in Melbourne had over 30 players, which is
cool.
a great effort. That's kind of the biggest tournament we'd get in the first year of the Great British Hobbit League.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty. That would be a.
That's a big tournament.
Yeah, just over our average size, I would have thought.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
So that's cool. 36 at the tournament, that was it. 36 is a recent one, which is a good number.
Right.
In Adelaide, they got 14 at the event, which is still that's kind of what we were getting in the first year of, and at some events this year, I guess, potentially. I think now the Great British Hobbit League events are getting around 20 per event. It's kind of a standard.
Yeah.
As a minimum standard.
That's probably the average across the board.
Mm-hmm.
Slayer and East Grinstead tend to be around 20, don't they? And they make up
20
a few.
to 30, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, what's in Australia. I did enjoy Jack Hale's comment, which was just, I'm from Melbourne, Australia. Downloaded the PDF and my country is very big.
It is very big. I don't know if we talked about this last week. Australia is really big. Do you know, in my gap year...
Did you go on a bus?
I did go on a bus.
It's a cracking story.
It's even better the second time.
So yeah, that was Australia. Canada.
Canada.
So this is from Harsput Halder. He said they have a group of about 20 or so people who play fairly often at their local GW in Vancouver.
So 20 people just in Vancouver? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So that's pretty good.
So that'd be, if you had 20 Hobbit players based around one GW over here, that'd be loads.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was probably lying when I said Germany. It's actually someone from Doncaster, but Germany sounded better. He said he was from Germany previously, so he made a comment about Germany. So actually no one from Germany currently replied.
Right. Where's Ollie?
He's not replied.
Where's the HTL?
I know.
Where's our German friends? Yeah.
We need to message him and be like, what? Right. That reminds me, I think I need to go back through my old messages. Oh no, I don't. I replied to him.
I was going to say, is he not commenting because you're not replying to his
No,
message?
I replied to it. I told... we were talking about...
Skip to the end.
Yeah, skip to the end. We were talking about GBHL dice, so I just directed towards Jamie. If anyone... See, got the advert in for the dice. Clever. If anyone wants GBHL dice, don't talk to us, talk to Jamie. isleofwarmgaming@gmail.com, because he's the guy who knows everything about it. We know nothing.
That's like a weird anti-advert though, isn't it? It's like saying if you want like you can't have them, you got to go somewhere else.
we don't have any. We only have our own ones. So yeah, Lenny Brick was the one he's from Doncaster and now was in Germany. He said that he felt the scene was thriving in Germany.
Cool.
And you kind of think that based on the HTL as well, because they have quite a lot of followers and get good views on their videos as well, considering they're in German.
Yeah. So, not that people would hate German.
No,
but
just
that there's going to be German speakers.
Less widespread, I guess. I mean, we'd struggle to watch the German videos on anything in depth because we don't understand.
I don't understand it, yeah.
Same for our Scandinavian friends who've got the new channel.
We know what Scandinavia is.
Yeah, so let's go on to Scandinavia. So Andreas from Norway, who we shouted out his Speak Friend in Question, or the Scandinavian equivalent channel. He made a comment on Finland. I think we said it was in Scandinavia, and we're sorry. I think we're wrong. It's not Scandinavia.
Oops.
So yeah, we should brush up on our geography if we're going to talk about every country.
As you know, the views and opinions and countries expressed on the Palantir are just our opinions.
Every country is their
do
opinion.
not reflect the geographical makeup of the EU.
But yeah, we've had someone from Finland reply.
Hey!
Finland representing. It's Elis Mikola. I've no idea if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, I'm afraid. If you get my name right, you'll get a chance to buy a Tupla.
Tupla, is that like a Finnish Freddo?
Finnish Freddo.
Finnish Freddo, I always finish my Freddos.
The SPG situation in Finland is like Stalingrad in January 1943. Really tough, yeah. That's a bit bleak.
God almighty. Guys, you don't get a lot of that kind of humour on the Palantir. Okay.
Okay.
It's the only thing I can think of in the last 75 years to which I could compare the current SPGs.
Yeah. But they do have a single game scheduled for this summer, so there's at least one
game?
other person. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
God, that is bleak. And I don't know if this is bleak as starting, but
Celebrating a
they've
game.
planned one game ahead
for the summer.
for 2 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you have to plan it for the summer because there's no light in the winter. Can't see the board.
They have lights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never been to Finland. I assume so. That is God. Wow. Yeah, that is pretty dire. So there's only 2. He thinks there's only like 2.
Yeah, scrap it. Don't give any of your charitable money to James Baldwin and Co. Give it to Finland.
We should send. Yeah, we should send Finland SPG players.
Yeah.
We'll send them.
Yeah, guys, you should go and walk in Finland.
Yeah. Send them James.
Send them James. So yeah, that's Finland. Denmark. We had Søren. Sent the great comment. So he's still around. He's still alive, which is good. Always good to know.
I don't think that they're dead if they don't comment. It's a weird thing the Northern guys do.
Yeah, I know.
I think they're probably just not commenting. They're probably alright.
They probably have a backlog of videos, and there's no point commenting once we've had the next episode.
Well, maybe there is a point. Maybe they're onto us.
Yeah.
I'm not watching this rubbish anymore.
And Christian Syrup Jensen as well. So they were both saying that the scene isn't huge, but Christian has a group of about 10 people he plays with.
Cool.
But yeah, that's still something. Still something in Denmark. Better than Finland anyway. If you want to make yourself feel better about your local area, just think about Finland.
With their 2015 game.
Yeah. Okay, Austria, this is William Farquharson. He said that he hasn't been there long enough to really know much about the scene. But he did give us some interesting facts on Austria. It's 83,879 kilometres squared.
Wow.
Or if you like that in miles, 32,385.86 square miles.
Brilliant.
Population density is 101.4 people per kilometre.
101 people per kilometre? That's small. That's a low population density, I'm guessing.
Must be kilometres squared.
Yeah. That's got to be a low population density.
Yeah, there's lots of mountains in Austria. Must be why.
Brilliant.
So yeah, there you go.
Thanks. Austria.
But yeah, he says if anyone is near Vienna and wants a game, get in touch.
Freddie Mercury, he's over there.
No,
that's not. That's Ultrabox, isn't it? Yeah, he did Barcelona.
Did I just win at a
Can we edit that
popular
back out?
culture?
Say that again. I'll edit it out,
Okay,
just like I edited out the thing about Jersey.
Yeah. If anyone near Vienna wants a game, then William Farquharson is well up for it.
No, maybe Ultrabox will take you up on that.
Yeah. Okay, you're good.
There you
Oh, wow. Cool. If we're going then to... I'm not really going to say too much about anyone in England because we talk about England a lot. Davy McShura is from Wales. And for those who don't know about Wales, he says it's not a very big country, it's smaller than England.
It's got dragons though.
It does have
It's
dragons.
closed on Tuesdays for cleaning.
It has Smaug on its flag.
That's the UK though, isn't it? We don't need to talk about the UK. We're all big.
It was more for the joke.
The joke?
Well, the size of the country.
Go on.
David Reed from Scotland.
Have you done the joke?
Yeah.
What was the joke?
Well, it's not a joke.
It's another one. It's another one. What was the joke?
About the countryside. He was commenting on the countryside.
What did he say about it?
That it's smaller than England.
It is.
Yeah.
Is that the joke?
Well, it's the theme, running theme then.
Okay. That's right. If you're also enjoying Tom's weekly joke, let us know in the comments below. Because I am.
Oh, shut up, banner boy.
You laughed, and you laughed for real.
Did not laugh for real. Yeah, David Reed was saying that generally the people who we see is the bulk of the scene.
Is it?
Which is a shame because you guys are all awesome, although they still think that I'm their favourite bigot. I'm Scotland's favourite bigot.
Yeah, it's a shame about the bigot.
Yeah. Ireland. There was some good discussion on the thread from Ireland. Rob Canavan was asking how many people are in Dublin, and
well, the thing is,
there's a whole series of people
the
talking.
scene over there is growing as well. They're getting a lot of players into it, and the amount of SPG players just keeps doubling and doubling. Yeah, that's a joke. Boom, out of nowhere. Do you know which country eats the most? Which country consumes the most food?
Hungary.
It is Hungary.
Okay. Was that a joke?
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's awful. How do you approach Wales's dragon?
Carefully.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey. Anyway, that's the jokes. So yeah, they were talking about the Irish scene, and Dave Egan is setting up a Irish Hobbit League.
Cool. Well done, Dave.
So yeah, which is cool. There's an Ireland SBG group, I guess on Facebook, and there's 47 members. Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So yeah, we know a few Irish people who come over to some of the GBHL tournaments.
Dave, I played Dave.
Yeah.
Gary's over a lot. Gary Doyle. Barry
O'Neill.
And Dory Barry.
And then here, obviously commenting on the channel, we've got Rob Canavan and Rob Mycock. So yeah. And Ireland is a massive country covering over 1 million square miles of land.
1 million square miles.
It is far away from Britain on the opposite side of the world and has a total population of about 4 people, maybe 7. And then
That's one for every 25 million square miles.
Yeah, he then says in brackets that he may be getting mixed up with Australia.
You may be getting mixed up with a moon. Wow, that's interesting to know about Ireland.
Yeah. So yeah, anyway, that is probably all of the countries.
Cool. That was quite interesting hearing how many of you from different places.
So
cheers for getting involved.
I don't know who runs the league in Australia, whether it's Mason O'Neill, do we know these names? Mason O'Neill, Thomas Maynard, Hadgeman.
So Maynard's not from Australia, is it?
Yeah.
That's Lord Elrond.
Thomas Maynard. Oh, and he was giving a shout out to the Green Dragon podcast, which we've listened to.
Thomas Maynard's English. I've met him.
Well, you can check the comments then.
No, I mean that would be horrendous content. Let's not scroll through the YouTube video. What did he say? Yeah, so the scene in Australia is brilliant. I don't know if you guys listen to Green Dragon podcast on iTunes, but there seems to be at least as many in Australia as there are here.
Oh yeah, he's not.
Read your own stuff. He's English, I've met him, he's Lord Elrond. You're an idiot. God, I imagine, I haven't even checked the rest of these. Everyone you just mentioned lives in England, I bet. just made it up.
Yeah. Cool.
Sorry, Tom.
Patrick Campbell is from Australia though.
Oh.
As is Jack Hale.
No, that's not.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's countries.
Good.
We also talked about the Nova Open.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of people have come in with lists that we could take.
Okay. This is our September trip to America.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
So Joseph Harley said, James, Jamie and Damian can take what they want to Nova, but I want Sam to take this. Road to Bree, 700 points. Frodo, Sam, Merry and Pippin,
On foot.
Bill the Pony, Fatty Bolger,
Good.
Farmer Maggot, Tom Bombadil,
Yeah.
Goldbury,
Yeah.
and finally Gildor leading 8 Nolder in Exiles with Elven Cloaks and Woodell Spears and 1 Nolder in Exile with Elven Cloak. Thank me later.
That is brilliant. Because I mean, that he's obviously pointed that up.
Yeah.
The fact that one of the
Yeah.
Nolder and
Yeah.
Exiles aren't different, that's obviously
Yeah.
bang on. Is that because you got Tom and Goldbury, you'd have to kill like Merry or Pippin in one go.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
So
they're
they
a
don't
nightmare
get
for your
healed.
opponent. The Road to Bree. God, that'd be good. You should do that.
Yeah.
That'd be worth your money.
Yeah.
Okay. Good stuff.
I think DCHL Devon replied that if Tom wins with that list, he'll double the prize.
Well, we get 2 tables.
Yeah.
So do it, mate.
Do it.
It'll be like the Tour de France. We'll be the 3 of us will be your team by protecting you at the front.
And then I can sprint at the end.
Yeah, you just do the sprint right at the end of the last game.
I think Devon was also keen for us to use that in the back reps against their channel.
Not the Road to Bree.
Yeah.
I bet he was. They would have won.
But we got more. We got some votes for the Road to Rivendell list as well.
Of course. Any
Quality.
road to.
Any road to, yeah. Are there any more road twos?
Probably.
We could do the road to the Corsair Reaver's house and just have Corsair Reavers.
The road to the land of shades and
Yeah.
reavers. Yeah. It's a good list. Theme.
And then we've got some comment from an Australian/English guy who goes by the name of Thomas Maynard, who says, bring your strongest armies and smash them. Not filth, but like Verurkers and Wood Elves or something, which is filth. Oh no, it's Wood Elves, man. But
He probably
Lowe's Elves.
does it. Yeah, the Verurkers are fairly filthy. But yes, thank you. Dug him out of retirement over the weekend at the Mansfield tournament and was pleasantly reminded by why I used to take that on.
Yeah. Dr. Dan says, take a SBG recommended King's Champion army.
King's Champion. Wow, there's a hot topic.
Yeah. Shall we delve into that kind of worms or not?
Do you want me? I think it's quite interesting.
We can come back and
we'll come back to it. Remind us, guys, to come
Yeah.
back to it. The King's Champion.
Who's this? Avatar of Odin said, "What we don't need to take Team GBHL, Team GB t-shirts because we could just dress up."
Dress up.
Yeah, I guess like we did in some of the sketches, but also I guess like Billy and Sam.
High quality of
with the
dress
barrel and Keely in a barrel and Tariel.
Yeah.
But he said if you're going for a more British style, red coats and tricorn hats.
We should. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Wallard said that the Nova Open is Alexandria, Virginia, which is true. Yeah, it's about a quarter of an hour away from Washington, D.C. But he says that we should be able to see the White House from our hotel room, as long as it's facing the right way.
The hotel or the White House?
The White House, yeah. It's not looking.
Oh, it's facing the wrong way today, no.
Come all this way, and it couldn't be bothered to look.
50-50 shot, wasn't it?
David Reed had a good suggestion. We should all take old Bilbo with the ring. Meta busting choice.
It's the same bleeping ring. That was my favourite comment of the weekend.
What's the difference between Bilbo and Frodo's ring?
Same ring.
It's just a bit older. But yeah, old Bilbo. You never see old Bilbo at a tournament.
You know,
I don't think I've ever seen him. He's possibly one of the worst models in the game for his points.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
But yeah, that might be a plan for East Grinstead, old Bilbo.
Yeah, smash it, man.
Yeah. So yeah, Are you wanting to go on to the King's Champion?
I could do. There's also 2 other bits of mildly interesting news. One that the stuff has started being recalled from shops. We haven't talked about that. The Hobbit range. If you were to go into your local Games Workshop now, they may well not have the Hobbit range because it has gone.
Yeah, basically they're allowed one thing of their choice which sells well that isn't the main things they have to sell. So it could be Black Library stuff or now Hobbit stuff. Which is a crying.
It's a shame, but depending on the shop you live near, you might want to go in and see if you plan on picking anything up because it will be going from shops, and this is obviously the beginning of the end, as it were. I believe it's still going to be sold online.
Yeah.
We don't know, but they just won't be stocked in the shops anymore, which is sad. I think because for the first time in 15 years, you'll walk into a Games Workshop and there won't be any Lord of the Rings books.
Well, or you won't walk into a Games Workshop full stop.
This is true. Yeah. So that's kind of because they've also taken all the as we're recording this on Tuesday, what is it, about the 10th of June? 9th of June. They've taken all the Warhammer Army books and all the End Time books away, which is big, and they've replaced them all with this Age of Sigmar flyer, implying that when that comes out, I think it's on the 4th of July, it's going to completely change their game.
Yeah.
They've taken all the books off the shelves. That's quite a big deal. So big changes for GW. But yeah, the Hobbit is going, and it was particularly sad because we went to Slayer. And Slayer obviously aren't a Games Workshop, they're an independent reseller, and they were selling everything off for 50%. So you might want to go down and check out your local independent reseller because they might be having a sale. And we got some damn fine bargains from Slayer. So thank you very much. That was exciting. But the downside is. No more Hobbit.
So yeah, I guess in the coming, I know a few of you have asked previously and asked even this week about, the hobby going forward. So I guess we'll start talking about them in detail, kind of in the weeks to come. But maybe not today.
The other bit was, I don't know if you picked up on Axon 39's comment.
Yes, I did. It was in the news section, but I missed it, and then I was like, I'll come back to it at some point.
It was quite interesting that Ryan posted a comment about a video about the extended edition, talking about it, and I went and watched the video, and it's basically a compilation of videos and interviews of people, so it's quite interesting. But they've got quotes of the stuff from the Chronicles book, stuff from press junkets, just talking about the kinds of scenes that might be in the extended version. So it's not one nerding even more than you. Yeah, it was a compilation thing. So there was things about these could be potentially spoilers for what might be in the extended edition. Still with us? Good. So you had things like Thorin's funeral, Dane's coronation, the chariot race, a second dwarf army, which was quite interesting. Here's a theory about
so they're not
pigs. Well, they're a second wave. So during the battle, the cavalry then comes in.
Right.
Then that could explain theoretically how they weren't there at the start. They've just removed that entire.
So do you reckon when they had they ran out, maybe they, instead of them being saved by another dwarf army at the gate, they decided to have the dwarves run out or something like that.
Yeah. But maybe. More Bayon. Supposedly Bayon at Rosgobor, Bayon at Dol Guldur, potentially more stuff about the ring, stuff we talked about before.
Yeah, but I don't think any of this is particularly new.
But there was, it's kind of interesting. There was a few more sources in there that I hadn't seen talking about it. So, and the acorn. They did mention the acorn. Bilbo burying the acorn in Dale. Okay. Apparently, which I believe I've said to give a sign of hope that acorn had to go somewhere.
You said it had to go somewhere. Yeah. I mean, why? I don't know why they did it otherwise.
But so hopefully we might. Where are we? June. We might start. I can't remember when the trailer would.
Do you reckon they'll cut some Alfred out in the extended?
I think they'll have him die. There was also Peter Jackson said a thing that a lot of violence has been removed from it to get the PG-13 rating, so there'll be a little bit more kind of violent action in there. What was I going to say? Sorry, I can't remember when the Bridge trailer came out last year for Destination Smaug. But I think it was over the summer, so potentially we might start to get.
Look back through the old Palantir episodes, you'll be able to.
Or just find the news story about that, whichever you'd rather do.
Give us the clicks on the videos. Click through all the old ones.
And yeah, potentially in a month or two, we might have a little trailer, a release date.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, where were we? King's Champion, potentially.
Yeah, the King's Champion. So this came up, this is a topic of discussion. Our first topic of discussion for the week. This came up today on the Great British Hobbit League.
Yeah.
And went mental. The last time I checked, there was 122 comments.
Yeah.
I haven't particularly got involved. I was tagged in it to put it in the community FAQ, and I said, I've done it, I'm out. And so the query was, at its simplest level, is the King's Champion a named hero, and therefore can you only have one of him in your army?
Mm-hmm.
Tom.
I don't know.
Right. So join us next week.
Where's he in? Which book's he in?
He's in the Free People's, but in there it doesn't say the.
Right, it just says King's Champion.
Indeed.
Well, he's not a named hero then, is he?
But I thought you thought he was a named hero.
But then what does the Spider Queen say? Cause
Exactly, Thomas. And therein lies the question.
But they only did that for the Spider Queen because she's absolute filth.
Did they?
Or was in the old editions. Because yeah, people just rock up with about 10 of them.
So Free People's King's Champion, no the.
Okay.
Yeah?
So where's the Spider Queen? It's just going to say Spider Queen, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Moira and Angmar.
But this was a later...
Spider Queen.
But it's a later FAQ.
Yes. So
they could have
inside...
missed the.
And I don't know if it makes a difference, but... Mordor... just says Spider Queen.
Yeah.
So in the official GW FAQ, it says, I can't remember what it says, but unnamed characters, such as, and it says the Balrog, the Goblin Scribe, the Spider Queen, and one other, I can't remember who it is, are they named or individual? And it says yes they are.
Okay. Like you can see for the Goblins, like if my view is if they're in the film and it's deliberately trying to be that one character, then they're named. So like the Goblin Scribe and the Balrog, King of the Dead, anything like that.
I think the King of the Dead's the other one. That's good. I think he's the fourth one.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're obviously named.
Yes.
But then you get into tricky ones where it's because King's Champion, because you also have King of Men and Dwarf King, and I'd say you can field multiple kings.
Yeah, this is where
you have multiple regions. So you could have multiple Dwarf Kings and multiple King's Champions of each of those Dwarf
exactly.
Kings.
And the Spider Queen thing, as much as it's meant to be the big spider beastie from in Mirkwood, from GW's version of Fall of the Necromancer, there would be other Spider Queens.
Yeah.
So GW have already made a ruling that says there could be more than one Spider Queen, but you can only have one.
But I reckon that's the product. I mean, they didn't used to say that.
No,
it used to be allowed to have multiple ones. I think they stopped it because people were taking so many and they were like, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
I really think that's why it was.
But then she's bumped in with these other, if that was just one on her own, then fair enough.
But
it's a separate
what does it say as the fluff for it?
What, the Spider Queen?
Yeah. In the Fall of the Necromancer.
Oh, might as well read the current fluff.
You're in the Free People, so you're not going to find the Spider Queen in there.
If only. Spider Queen was my undoing this weekend, Mr. Jeffrey. In dark places, scattered around Middle Earth, lurk giant spiders, cruelly intelligent creatures with predatory instincts and an insatiable thirst for blood. Rare and dangerous though they are, Spider Queens...
Very rare. One of them.
Spider Queens are allies, cherished for their incredible speed and poisonous fangs.
So you should be able to have multiple.
That sounds like multiple, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But GW said, no, because you can
Where's the Fall of the Necromancer?
It's on the shelf there.
I think that's really a response to people spamming them.
Okay. So it's interesting because it is then how far do you take it, because the discussion then became
in the Fall of the Necromancer is the Spider Queen.
Oh, in the unit entry.
Yeah, and it says greatest among the spiders of Tuatha Dúath. The queen is not only the largest but also the most cruelly intelligent. So in this, it's definitely one. So the original fluff was one.
By Games Workshop.
And then whoever did the Morin Angmar supplement, because there were lots of different people doing the supplements at the time, not supplement, sourcebook,
yeah.
Just messed up the fluff.
Or replaced the fluff.
But
yeah.
I think that, because who wrote The Fall of the Necromancer?
It's Matt Ward, isn't it?
Okay.
It's just
But yeah, I imagine that they did it because A, people were spamming them, B, if they went and looked back at the original, they'd be like, well,
yeah,
it was meant to be one.
Okay. So then what happened with the discussion is it then became, well, what about a king of men?
Yeah.
A dwarf king? I think those were the...
Yeah, they're the main ones.
But then, of course,
they're the
people
obvious
did,
ones.
quite rightly, I think, if you're being pedantic about it, start going, what about the dwarf captain and the dwarf warrior?
What
you know, it's like,
the...
well, when you're saying dwarf king, or dwarf, it's like you can put a the in front of anything, can't you?
Yeah, but they mean people mean in the name of the profile.
Oh yeah, but what they were saying is if the king's champion is named, so you can only have one.
But I don't think it is named. I mean, it'd be annoying if people took more than one, and I'd quite like it to be ruled that the king's champion can only be brought with a king.
But that's entirely separate then.
Yeah, that's just my own.
That's like inventing a different rule that.
Yeah.
Because it also wouldn't be a dwarf king, would it? Because you could have.
Yeah, you could. You could have.
Durin,
yeah, you could have any of them.
Thorin.
Yeah, you could have any dwarf who has been a king.
But I mean, is this our airtight fluff? Our airtight ruling in the book. Any dwarf who has been a king.
If we were to run a fluff tournament and you brought a king's champion without a king,
what about
then
Thorin
you wouldn't score highly.
He hasn't been a king, though. I know, right? Slippery slope. Sliding scale.
Yeah, well, that's why we were entirely subjective with the theme.
But this is as we speak. This is currently raging.
I don't know why it's raging so much, though. I mean,
the interesting thing about it is that I find about a lot of these discussions is that there, as I said, there are 120 comments, and this was in the last sort of 5 hours. I've never seen anyone take two kings champions.
No.
As that who, like, if someone's out there thinking about
someone really like banners, you really like banners. You might take 4.
Good stuff.
2 kings champions.
But it's like it doesn't. I don't think anyone from a fluff point of view particularly wants to, and I don't think anyone from a competitive point of view. And what I found particularly hilarious is they blamed it on you.
Yay!
Because in SVG spoilers, in SVG issue 2, in Tom's top 10, you did undercosted heroes.
I did.
Don't have 3 attacks and 3 moves. And the winner on the list was
King's Champion by quite some margin.
The King's Champion?
No, we just put King's Champion.
God, I know. We didn't care.
But we also said that the Rivendell Knight Captain was the only unnamed hero in
the
top 10.
Rivendell Knight Captain.
Well, a Rivendell Knight Captain was the only unnamed one.
Oh, we did. Oh, good shout. So you called him out. You said he named.
Yeah.
Oh, he named. That's a good point.
Yeah.
You did do that.
Yeah. But that's because at the time I think that people were swinging towards that no one cares. And
how cheap is he? 50 points too cheap.
No more.
When you've taken into account the fact he
Far
brings
more
two banners and lots of fate points and all this sort of stuff.
It's all that. It's just absolutely mad how much
stupidly cheap.
Yeah. I mean, Erkenbrand looks like
if only we had a copy of SPG.
Doing that
as a box over.
Oh.
But
they're still available.
And so someone said that it's Tom's fault because since reading it, he's at the forefront of, and I quote, everyone's mind. So I don't know what you're all listening to this idiot for, but bring it over there. Bring it over so I can see it. Okay. God.
I didn't know I'd subconsciously named him through the Rivendell Knight one, the only unnamed hero. But yeah, King's Champion is it's just
80 points too cheap. You see, all the others, it is weird because I've got no basis for this, but if someone brought two dwarf kings, or 2 kings of men, I wouldn't blink.
No.
If someone turned up with 2 Kings Champions, I would be like, can you do that? Because I don't know why, it doesn't feel generic to me.
Yeah, it depends on what their intention was for it. The other one's the King's Huntsman, actually. Can you have multiple King's Huntsmen?
Yeah, because the King's Huntsman. The King's Huntsman says it's part of an order or something. King's Huntsman, he's nothing, King's Huntsman. So not just King's Huntsman.
Yeah.
But it then says King's Huntsmen are the finest archers in Rohan, able to slay distant foes with one black fist arrow.
Multiple.
They specialise in killing enemy captains before the battle lines clash. No, they don't.
What does the King's Champion say?
They specialise in doing nothing for you. Then there's also Knight of the White Tower, because I was started to think, oh, maybe it's job title related.
Job title.
Yeah, so like a dwarf captain's a kind of generic thing, but a specific job title, such as King's Champion. Knight of the White Tower, the Knights of the White Tower are the finest weapon masters in the First Age.
Yeah, just like the spiders can be everywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, the spider one's specific, because I think,
there's 3 peeps gone.
And also, I don't know how bothered GW would be if you asked a question. They'd probably just rule all yes or all no.
Yeah, I agree. When the King's will must be enforced, it is to his champion that this duty fails. Clad in the finest mail and armed with axes, he will march upon the foe ready to defend the honour of both his king and his hold. At all times he is accompanied by a pair of heralds, tough and sturdy dwarfs who bear proud banners proclaiming the kingship of their liege and the power of their hold. The King's champion is never a messenger of peace but a harbinger of war. So it's clearly saying that there's one, that you're going to use one in your army.
Well, one for the king.
Well, yeah, and then the kind of debate comes in, well, what if I have multiple kings?
Yeah. But no one will be bringing multiple kings with the king's champion.
No, exactly. So, yeah, so where would you start? Because I presume now there's going to be enough debate about this that it will go into the FAQ. It's actually, at the moment, it's in the FAQ.
Yeah.
Because I stuck it, as soon as someone, the way it works now, as soon as someone brings something up like this, I stick it in the FAQ with the answer that seems to be the one that most people agree with, and then you're welcome to challenge it.
Yeah.
So that way they get into the FAQ straight away. So he's currently in the FAQ as being a named character.
I don't know, I mean, I must have thought of his fluff as being named when I was writing the top 10 article. I don't know, I think we can read too much into these things, because look at what the Spider Queen thing was. If you're doing it from face value, from that, you'd probably, and from, you can have multiple kings, so you can have multiple kings champions, so you could say you could have multiple. But I imagine if you ask Games Workshop, they'd probably say no, you can have one. That'd be my gut instinct. Because they'll say you can have multiple captains, yes. Can you have multiple of any of these special characters? No. You
don't want to have a question for the King of Men and the Dwarf King and the every other thing, do you?
And they'll just say you can have one of them, you can have multiple captains.
See, I think you'd go with multiple now, because there are, if you read into the fluff.
But then they'd have to answer it and stuff like, they'd have to answer them all individually.
Well, they wouldn't if they go with, you can have multiple.
But then what about the whole King of the Dead Balrog question?
There's only one of them in the film, like I say. Because the Balrog thing's another one, there were more Balrogs.
Yeah,
so the argument that there could be more than one King's Champion is a nonsense, I think, because there could be more than one Balrog, there could be more than one Spider-Queen. Oh?
It's just what they feel like. So, we can... It's just shove something in the FAQ that people are most happy with.
Yeah, so he's in there at the moment as named, and if you disagree with that, then someone can PM me.
I think people will look at
maybe we've got 83 PMs. It is. And we will put it to the public vote and amend it that way. But, as we said, fundamentally, I've never seen anyone bring to or want to bring to.
No, you're just challenging someone to do so, Damian.
Yeah, do it now.
Yeah.
There you go. What do you think about him and the others? Are we crazy? Are they named? Are they unnamed?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Trivia, Damian.
Trivia?
Yeah.
Trivia after a discussion topic?
Yeah.
What kind of insane agenda is this?
We're bouncing around.
Indeed, the trivia. Okay.
It wasn't early, but...
Last week's trivia.
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
Oh, you do the trivia. You're the trivia master.
No. Okay.
It's like you don't even watch the show.
Last week, Damian, what was your question?
My question was, in the series of documentaries, We're up and down quite a lot today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, this one, The Secrets of Middle-earth, inside Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings, series of 3 documentaries made around 2003.
I'm not prepared for my question.
Who was the narrator of that show? And I said there's a kind of Tolkien connection. It's not just someone arbitrary that Tom's never heard of. And what sort of answers did we get?
I've always heard of them. We got loads of answers. We got these ones.
Tom's off on a mission somewhere. So, lots of people said Christopher Lee, Ian, Martin Freeman.
Ian McKellen.
Okay. Ian McKellen. Martin Freeman, David Attenborough, then Ian MCM, presumably another Ian McKellen.
Oh, Ian Holm was another one. Sorry.
Okay, right. Leonard Nimoy, God rest his soul. And someone said, I can't remember who said this.
Larry.
Unless it was it Larry? Unless it was made by Peter Jackson. In that case, it was Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
None of those are correct.
Oh, and
They're
one
all-
person got the correct answer.
Yeah, they're all sensible answers because they're all Tolkien people. This was made in 2003.
Yeah.
And apart from Martin Freeman, they're all Tolkien people who had the connection with it.
Yeah.
Because of Lord of the Rings, right? But get this, the narrator is Graham McTavish. Dwalin is the narrator, like for real. And I thought that was amazing.
It's a banner in the works.
Because this is 2003.
Yeah.
The Hobbit wasn't remotely in production. He certainly wasn't cast.
Mm-hmm.
But he ends up narrating the thing about the films of... No, it's more about the books. It's completely about the books, actually. Of Lord of the Rings, and then ends up doing it. I think that's weird.
Yeah. But, yeah.
Fun bit of trivia for you.
Yeah, fun bit
Which
of
is kind of fun. And congratulations to Andrew McCulloch, or McCullough, possibly, McCulloch, who got it right. The only person to get it right. Well done. You have won the chance to go and buy yourself a Freddo. So he said that he saw them on the BBC, I think, last year, or a few years ago, 10 years ago or something. He saw them on telly. And that's how he knew. But yeah, Graham McTavish presents some fun stuff. That's my trivia.
Good trivia.
Thank you.
Cool. My trivia was Galadriel from this is what I was doing.
Oh, that's what you were looking for.
The old Fellowship of the Ring book.
Should have hidden it.
So it was, how many points was she originally? She was 130 now. What was she then? Dave Egan had a strong guess of 96.538.
Good.
Which wasn't quite right. It's 90 points.
90 points?
Yeah, bargain.
That is a bargain. For the
Especially
same...
No,
No.
different profile.
Ridiculous.
So especially when you hear the profile. But a few people got that right. Sebastian Avery, Wobchika, Ian Marley and Chris Dunn.
Oh.
Chris Dunn also got the bonus, which was what her special rules were. And I'm going to open the book and find her.
As Chris Dan knew about Arwen, so he's
Yeah.
obviously a bit up on the older rules.
This is, or he's just a bit behind on the newer rules. One of the two. I'm struggling to find her. This is good content as usual. King of Men. It says this is a named hero. Dwarf Kings.
Dwarf
Multiple.
Kings. Wow, that has changed. They obviously all died out.
Kings of Men. Look at this.
It's quite interesting.
Yeah.
She's there. Stop turning past it.
Yeah, 90 points. So her special rules were Lothlorien and Terror.
She comes with a forest.
So Terror is just normal terror.
Normal terror.
But Lothlorien is, within the boundaries of the land of Lothlorien, Galadriel's powers maintain the world as it once was. Beyond her own realm, her powers are limited. If the battle is fought beyond the boundaries of Lothlorien, Galadriel has 3 points of might, 3 will, and 3 fate. So she actually has less fate than less will than she does now, because she's got 6 now. But if the battle is fought within the boundaries of Lothlorien, Galadriel has no might, will, or fate
That's
in her
awful.
store. But she can use up to 3 points of each in any turn.
Oh, that's brilliant, isn't it? 3 might.
3 will and 3 fate per turn.
1 might. 3 might.
3 might, will, and fate per turn that she just gets.
That's pretty good.
It's fairly incredible.
But she can't. Can she re-roll fate?
No, Nenya is not there. And nor is cast blinding light only immobilise and command.
Can you imagine being in 2001 or 2002 again? Oh, do you want to play some SPG? Yeah. Who are you? I'm elves. Do you want to play in Lothlorien? No. No.
It's because it's purely for scenarios.
Yeah. It's pure fun.
But that's cool. So yeah, well done, Kristan, on the bonus points.
So very much worth it if you're in Lothlorien.
Yeah.
But probably not worth it, maybe.
No, if you're outside of Lothlorien.
3-3-3 with all the defence.
But for 90 points,
I thought at the weekend she's the one with the most threes in all the places.
Yeah, threes in all the right and wrong places.
Yeah, I think
Strength
she might have.
and defence 3.
This is probably what a challenge to Larry. Oh God, this should be my trivia question. Is she the person with most threes on her profile?
Yeah.
I think she will be. She's strength
Probably.
3, defence 3,
wounds
3, attacks 3.
Might and fate.
Might, will and fate.
Not will.
Yeah.
Just might and fate.
There's a lot of threes on my little stat line.
Yeah. It's true.
Well, so who got it right? Oh, you read it.
Yeah, and
Celeborn.
Celeborn isn't quite as good. He gets 3 might and 2 will and 1 fate per turn.
Easy.
So he's just not quite as good.
So there you go. Congrats to you guys. Who won the chance to go
but they're really interesting profiles. Ian Marley mentioned Elrond, who is a beast in it. Fight 9.
Fight 9?
Yeah.
Poured out for
120 points. He doesn't have Nature's Wrath or anything like that though.
And he's defence 7.
Yeah. He's defensive now.
He doesn't have his ring.
No.
So you're fight 9. What happened to him?
He does only carry a 2-handed weapon though, so he gets -1 every turn.
Yeah.
There you go. Cool, so trivia this week, Damian.
Trivia this
question.
Am I doing it?
Is it who narrated?
Who narrated the 2 towers? No, my trivia question this week, Thomas, is inside the Moria list in the Moria and Engmar.
Balrog.
What is the name of the giant shadow and flame demon
that is named?
Inside the Moria list, and not the Angmar list, the Moria list, how many warrior types are there? And a type would be 1 entry in here. So I don't know if there are any in here that can meet this criteria, but for example, if we're doing the Rohan one, you can have warriors of Rohan, and they can be upgraded to Westfold Red Shields.
That'd be 2.
No, that's 1.
That's 1.
Because they're in the book as riders of Rohan, and you can upgrade them.
And it doesn't matter what war gear they have, it's just 1.
Yeah, it's just how many entries are there for different warriors. Okay? And so how many different warriors can you put in your warbands essentially in the Moria list?
You need to put 12 in your warband.
Yeah.
Put 12.
Yeah. You need a number. And as always, no looking. That's my trivia for this week.
Good.
Yourself?
Yeah, my trivia question is, in the 1981 BBC radio adaptation of Lord of the Rings, who played...
Ian Holm?
No. Not who played, but Frodo. Who played San Gamgee? Who voiced San Gamgee?
Sean Astin?
Clue, it's not Sean Astin.
Not Sean Astin. Good question. There you go. For your chance to buy yourself a Frodo next week.
Yeah.
Off you go.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Oh, Andreas from Norway said he could get us some fine confectionery for.
I look forward to it.
For Frodo. So when you're over, Andreas, for Stockport, hopefully we will
have a chocolate off.
Yeah, we're
going to post it to him.
Oh yeah, we could do.
Post it.
Yeah, contact us at sbg at g. No,
we not have it. Have we got it? We've got his address.
Have we?
And we posted in the magazine.
Yeah, we have his address. We have your address. We don't keep any of your addresses on a system somewhere.
Our email address, by the way, is sbgmagazine@gmail.com. It's a tricky one.
It's because I said contact us at, and then that completely threw me off.
2 ads in the same
in
sentence.
the email.
Oh, a nightmare.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to work in a hat shop.
No.
Next.
You would Groblog, he'd get laughed at for the terrible hat he wears. Right, so that's trivia dance. You've not done your trivia dance.
Trivia section.
Yeah. Cool, well, we've been talking for about an hour.
Yeah, but we have one more discussion topic.
We do.
Which was Chris Dan.
Yes, it was indeed. So Chris Dan's topic was, he was thinking about for tournaments, can the organisers suggest custom profiles or use custom profiles from elsewhere in their tournaments?
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
The answer is yeah.
Yeah.
End of discussion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kind of the first and fundamental thing about running a tournament is you can put whatever you want in the rules, but I mean, as long as it's within the Great British Hobbit League, for a Great British Hobbit League event anyway, guidelines for the that everyone needs to take just because those are sensible suggestions. But yeah, I mean within.
Sensible suggestions I wrote. Oh.
They're approved by all of the other tournament organisers. Yeah, no, there really aren't many limitations at all, really.
Although there will be one, actually. This is kind of off topic that we're going to put in to the FAQ, that we're going to ban a model.
Yeah, let's come on to that in a sec, actually.
Okay. Everyone's going, what?
Yes.
Alfred.
No.
Alright, we'll come on to that apparently.
So, yeah, I've lost my train of thought.
So
But yeah, if you're running a tournament, you can do what you want, right? If you want to put something in a tournament pack, that's fine. People have the chance to read the tournament pack before they pay.
Yes, they. I believe he was specifically in the first instance talking about Golfing Ball, his profile, and Imrahil.
Oh yeah, so it was the out of production.
Not Imrahil, Faramir.
Out of production profiles.
Yeah.
So yeah, the ones that have been in previous books but now have
for whatever reason didn't
existence.
make it into these.
So yeah, Imrahil was in a White Dwarf.
Faramir.
Captain Aphelion is in a White Dwarf. You poisoned mine.
Poisoned your mind.
And Golfing Bull is in the Scarring of the Shire, as everyone knows, and everyone knows what else is on the pages with it.
Yeah, weird. Does any idea why they're not in here? Any thoughts? Why Golfing Bull didn't make the
talked
cut?
to Simon Grant, didn't we? And they he said that he didn't write they had multiple authors on all of the books, and I don't think that they have. They have no names, so it was just multiple people. So that's why it probably lacks a bit of consistency across some of the profiles. But yeah, I don't really understand. My only thought would be that they're meant to be a certain number of pages. This is 64. Are they all 64?
Yeah. They're smaller, aren't they? They're 48s and stuff. Yeah, 48.
So I think they are multiples.
They are within a multiple.
But they're
48.
Yeah, they're aiming for. They must be aiming for 48 or 64.
48. I think they're all 48. Yeah, 48.
They're all 48 apart from the Free Peoples, which is 64. So they must be aiming. So maybe they just didn't fit.
Maybe. I was wondering if Golfing Ball could be a licensing thing.
Why would that
Why would
makes
it
no sense for Faramir?
No, it doesn't. Are they the only two?
Yeah, although a lot of the profiles that came out in the White Dwarf, like Aemon, like the Pelennor and things like that, changed.
Yeah,
between
things changed.
Things
yeah, a lot
change.
of stuff changed. But it's odd to... It feels odd to kind of... I wonder if Golfing Ball went because...
Where would
what list does he go in?
You'd have to go in really Isengard with ruffians, but
yeah,
that would be the other one that kind of made
He leads
sense.
like white wargs,
Yeah.
which aren't in anymore. There's just wargs.
Yeah, you'd have to.
He
make
was in
his
a
own
kind
list,
of like
yeah.
wanderers in the wild, but for evil. So maybe
Yeah.
that was part of the thinking of that.
Yeah, but then Faramir just fits right into the Gondor one. You just have two Faramirs like you had two Aemars, two Boromir. The Boromir is across two lists.
But yeah, so these profiles, which have models released for them, the Faramir model's gorgeous, don't exist anymore.
No.
But people used to use them.
I think that if you put those profiles in, you would need to put them in the tournament pack for people to be able to find.
Yes.
Otherwise it's a bit exclusive
absolutely.
because it's hard to get hold of those profiles.
And
so
are we allowed to do that? I mean, it was a free download. At least Faramir was on a free download, wasn't it? It was like the Aemma one.
Yeah.
Or something like that, reinforcements thing.
So, yeah, I don't know.
But we think the important thing for me about doing anything like this is that as long as you put it in the pack before people have paid for their ticket, so when they read it and make the decision to go to the event, and it's in there, then do what you want. Because I think if you paid for a ticket and then someone goes, oh, and we're going to add in these profiles.
Yeah.
That might make someone, I wouldn't be particularly bothered, but someone might then go, oh, well, that I don't really want to go to a tournament that are doing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then you pay for your ticket.
Yeah. Yeah, but it'd be nice to see those profiles being used, because we used Gelfenbull as an Orc captain, and people have used the Faramir model as normal Faramir, but they're cool profiles. So
yeah, I mean, I think the Orc captain is probably better than Gelfenbull.
Yeah, it probably is.
I mean, fight 3, isn't it? So the
Yeah.
hobbits could take him down, I think.
But Faramir's ridiculously good.
Yeah, was he another
big, massive
12-inch banner and he had 3s everywhere?
Something like, yeah. I mean, maybe it's too much for him, maybe not.
But yeah.
I think he was 5'5" though, so he was kind of like the same as Aemir, a really good version of them.
Yeah.
But still 5'5".
As
they
should be. Because he's just a man. Yeah, absolutely.
James is banging on about.
We're good at Aragorn. No, he's not. Because he's not. Who's Aemir? I mean, Faramir. And it wasn't just those two though. They were talking about other custom profiles.
Yes, they were.
Maybe the idea of fixing people like Lurtz and Theoden. These sorts of things.
Yeah, which again would be fine in that tournament. I mean, some people may feel that you're discriminating or doing too much for one list and not for others. If you do, Theoden's not good enough, Gamling's not good enough, Harmer's not good enough, you do all the Rohan ones.
All true.
Yeah, all true. But then someone who plays Moria might be like, hey, why don't you do that one?
Hey, my Shamans need 4-up Fury.
Yay. But, I mean, people don't have to go right if they disagree. So.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with that.
But the other thing is, don't be stupid. Don't be like, oh, let's just fight 8 with 10 attacks. Like, you've got to make them pointed at least correctly.
And then, as a TO running an event, I think people would.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I think
they're not doing it for themselves.
Yeah, they're not trying to abuse the kind of system. They're trying to do it to give people interesting profiles to use.
Exactly, and because Chris also mentioned the profiles that we made in SPG.
Oh,
which is very humbling.
Thank you very much, Chris. The ones of you can do this.
Yeah.
For Thror, Thrain, Young Barlin, and Golb.
Yeah.
So we, this is about the Battle of Aznalfar, and we came up with 4 new profiles. For Thror, and we called him King Under the Mountain, Thrain, son of Thror, Young Barlin, and Golb, who is the Gundabad Orc General model.
Yeah. And the rationale wasn't for people to use in tournaments, it's more to use in friendly games and in the scenario that we made.
We basically, there's been a lot of chatter about Thror and Thrain being pointed too expensively, so we pointed them in relation to Thorin.
Which is arguably too cheap, but we just wanted to do it such that everything within the list was contained, because I think really people think about it from a list point of view, and I know that people then go across and say, well, Khazad versus Grimhammers, but they're in different lists, so there's different things.
It's if you want to take a fluffy list, but still have a Johnson game, who do you take?
And
you take Thorin. And now we hope we've made it for your friendly games a little less obvious, and we've also fixed their appearance. So Thrain's got a 2-handed hammer instead of an axe. Thror's got a shield and gets the shield defense bonus.
Yeah, and Young Barlin's more representative of how he is in the film.
Yeah, Young Barlin's somewhere between the old Lord of the Rings profile and the younger one. It's kind of 70-point dwarf hero. Yeah, and then Golb's a kind of mid-level orc.
Which is kind of needed in the Hunter Orc list if you're thinking from a what does the list need point of view.
And these 4 profiles are all used in the battle report.
Yes.
And I would be quite happy to play someone using these, because we deliberately thought about them a lot and costed them what we think is fair. Yeah. Like relative to other things in that list. And so Chris wanted to use these. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, obviously we're potentially a bit biased on this, but again, if they were in the rules pack, and you are more than welcome to put them in your rules pack. I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I think you'd get a very strong dwarf list out though if you had Thror and Thrain and Thorin. They are expensive in absolute points, but you're getting very, very, very good stuff for your point.
But then, as I say, it's in the pack, and it says
and it's no different to taking Dane or someone.
And also the important thing on that, I would say, is that you might have to think about mixing and matching.
Mm-hmm.
Like you might want to say, if for whatever reason you can't take this draw and the other throwing, it's almost like these models are replacing those potentially for that tournament or something. You might need to think about that.
If you did alerts and then which alerts can you take?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean. But then the difficulty then becomes inconsistency if you're wanting to do it across all tournaments. So maybe another tournament organiser sees this and says, yeah, well, I'll take some of those profiles, but not all of them because I don't like them all. And
here's where you get into trouble. Because that's why it would be very, very hard to do it as a league thing. As saying these are GBHL approved things. Because exactly as you say, a TO, somebody goes, well, who makes them? Like, granted, we've made 4 there. But then what if the next TO goes, alright, well I've made these 2. So then does the next TO have to use those 6? Or do they just get to use the 4? And can they add one of them? Can they use 3 out of the 4? So from a league point of view, I think it's quite tricky. But from your own tournament point of view, it's easy, I think. So if you, I presume, Chris, this is a somewhat loaded question. That's something you're thinking about for, you and Sam thinking about for a future Mid-Sussex War Games event. I think it's a great idea.
So we'd say, so we'd say don't try and do it as a last minute thing for the one coming up, but for the one after.
Yes, I don't think
in advance. You definitely go for it.
Yeah, and it's something. I think we've mentioned this. It's something that we early on talked about for Seven Stones, having profiles in there. It was just one of the things we never got around to.
Yeah, we're going to say that you could use any profiles in SPG.
Because what I would quite like, I mean, we obviously, you can see in that we did kind of fixed for we thought needed help, but we're also relevant to the battle report. Whereas what I'd quite like is a version of the Hobbit rulebook of kind of everything in there that fixes the various appearances and the points values and a few bits and bobs here, and then what you're able to say is this replaces it, and it's like either or. So it's like either you use our Hobbit profiles or you use GW's Hobbit profiles. You can't mix and match them between ours.
So the TOs would make a choice of you choose one or the other.
But I think the players could. So it's
players
like
it's not the TO saying that, it's players. You have
you're
to
welcome
use
to
one
use
set
these profiles, but you can't use our Thorin and their Throne. Because otherwise you're starting to add in. You'd be balancing it for the right reasons, so you'd be giving good things and bad things, which would then mean you could take the good things from this list and the good things from this. But there's something, who knows, might happen more in the future. But certainly, I think Golfinball and Faramir could potentially be added to the league. Because they were already published profiles. That's the sort of thing that I don't know if people would want that, but if enough people did, they could be in maybe the community FAQ. Because they were already GW profiles.
That's a good point. Now, which model was it that you want removing from the league, Damian? Do we have a look at it?
It's Mordor.
Yeah.
There is, indeed.
Spoilers.
This came out as a request from the last tournament. That this has never been done, but you're the league coordinator and you want to do this, yes? Yeah. So a model that will be removed from the this is exciting stuff. From GBHL tournaments going forward.
As long as it's approved by all the other tournament organisers, of course.
Of course. Is going to be.
It's the 0 point Gollum. For the reason that he's 0 points. And it's purely meant for scenario play. So basically, this Gollum can only be included if the good player has a ring bearer. I guess if they have Sauron. If an evil player has Sauron. But you can only field the Gollum, but if you put Gollum on your army list, and he's there, then if the other player brings the ring, then you can bring Gollum in.
And you
get essentially a free extra model who's pretty good, because it's fight 4, strength 4, defense 4, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, courage 4, 1 might and 1 fate.
He's kind of like a sort of orc captain. So he's probably worth about 30 points, 40 points.
Yeah, but Gollum is always controlled entirely by whichever player has priority that turn. And they take control of Gollum and move him and fight with him and so on. So, whilst he is free, the other person gets him.
So it's not massively to hamper the evil player.
No.
It's just a weird variable that isn't designed for tournament.
No, I don't think so. But if the other tournament organisers disagree that we shouldn't ban models, because we don't ban things like Tom Bombadil and Goldberry.
Then they
which
are part of your army list. You pay
yeah,
points for them.
But they've been traditionally banned by GW in the past.
Yeah.
So these are the Golem and the Tom and Goldberry, the ones that have traditionally been banned by them in the past. But I think that's because they didn't used to have points values either, did they?
Absolutely.
Tom and Goldberry. So, yeah, I think just because it's a 0 point thing and it's just a bit odd. I mean, but I think also it depends on your opponent, right? People could bring it if they really want to, and if your opponent really wants it because they just want to have a fun game, then that's absolutely fine. But I think that from a if you put it on your army list and somebody didn't want you to use it, I think that's fair enough for them to say no.
Yeah.
Previous to now, it's been absolutely fine. If you wanted to bring one along, then there's nothing to stop you.
Yeah.
So there's no problem on having done it. But I think that it is just a bit strange for a tournament to have it.
Yeah. And you might feel aggrieved if you turn up to a tournament where you've paid money and everything's meant to be fair and you're actually trying to compete, and this golem turns up for free and kills your leader or something, and it has a big swing on the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a bit
But
out
yeah, if people want to have fun, then they're really not bothered, then I'm sure it would add a fun element.
So we will see what the TOs say.
Yes.
So yeah, that is what we think, Chris.
Yeah, I think that's it from us. We did have a ton of topic suggestions from people. We're not ignoring them. They're on our list of potential topics.
Bankable topics.
Yeah, banked topics for when there's a week where you guys go silent, which has happened before. Not silent in terms of comments, but just on the topics. We just got a load of topic requests this week, which was great.
Yeah, so thank you for that. Thanks for your comments,
Yeah.
as always. We shall return next week.
Yeah.
Until then, don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe.
Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
Support your hobby.
And happy strategy battle gaming.